Hello, welcome to another Deaf What interview. Today we're having an interview with Ali Saeedi, who is an artist. Welcome to Deaf What. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself? Okay, sure. First of all, thank you for inviting me, Sage. My name is Ali, and this is my sign name. I'm originally from Iraq, and I moved to Canada in 2007 in the city of Toronto. I've been living here since then, and my passion is in filming, acting, performing, and movies. So, with the coronavirus happening, how did that impact your work as an artist, creator, and movie maker? It's really unfortunate. Before COVID, it was pretty cool with opportunities to socialize. As an actor, socialization is really important. It's an opportunity to network, and now I'm stuck, limited to my home. There are other opportunities to work online. Some things to do via Zoom. It's good, yes, it's moving forward. It's limited, yeah, but we're doing our best to continue creating and doing. Yeah, it's difficult to be on Zoom all the time, from being in person, then transitioning online. It's a lot. So you were involved with a movie called Deafening Darkness. Can you tell us a bit more about your experience with that? Back in the day, I met a person named Mark, and this is how you sign his name. I gave him that sign. He is hearing, and he's been incredibly supportive. He partners up with the deaf community. We started working together back in 2014, I think, so we've been a work in progress since then. We've created a few stories together. Mark has some ideas, and I was able to advise him on deaf culture. We applied for a few grants. It was a long process, but eventually we were successful in obtaining these grants, and it was good. The film was a horror movie set in Toronto. It's a beautiful movie, yes. Yes. I was a part of that movie as well, and I'm grateful for that experience. So the most recent movie that you were involved with was called Old Mother Tongue, and your character was Alexander Graham Bell, a hearing man. So you performed as a hearing character. Can you share your thoughts about deaf actors taking on hearing roles? Settle down, settle down. Alexander Graham Bell has the floor. I stand here before you with a deep, personal belief. There were people like Dennison and Gallaudet. Thank you. Mark, the hearing director, is generous because he gave opportunities for me to be involved. There are not many deaf people involved with the industry, and as for my acting experience, it was a good one. I had to learn how to mimic the way hearing people spoke with their mouth movements. It felt good to have that opportunity, and it was a cool experience. You recently made a movie called Melt. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Sure. That was a project I was involved with. I wrote, directed, and edited the movie. Now, the movie is called Melt because in the world today, the use of sign language is decreasing due to the medicalization of deafness and with the cure of cochlear implants. We're not focusing on that. It's about the preservation of sign language. It's something important to deaf people. I'm trying my best to advocate, so this is my way of becoming involved and creating progress. The movie will have its premiere, and hopefully the audience will understand the message of the movie. Sign language is precious for the future. I completely understand. We do need to preserve sign language for the future. That's right. So I know that you love horror movies. How have these horror movies impacted your work thus far? I grew up watching movies. They're cool, exciting, and they didn't have much dialogue. These movies were full of action. The movies were darker. I had these feelings of anxiety and excitement, and so I like the feeling of that thrill. That's why I love horror. Yes, that's true. Horror movies require a lot of physicality, aesthetics, expression over dialogue. Dialogue can be boring, right? Yeah, that's true. What are your goals for the deaf arts in the future? Yes, I do have goals. but I prefer to wait it out. I'm taking it one step at a time. In the future, hopefully, I've achieved my goals and I've succeeded. But we gotta wait and see what happens in the future. I completely understand that you'd rather take it step by step than jump ahead and declare these goals when it's not been done yet. It makes sense. That. What gives you joy? I need the deaf community to show up, not to give in to fear. They need to try, test things out, and to see the outcome. Maybe they have a hidden skill. There are not a lot of deaf actors. And while the number is growing for deaf actors, there is also still a need for deaf crew members, including photographers, editors. If any deaf person is interested, I encourage them to become involved. I know it can be challenging financially, but hopefully there'll be growth in that area in the future. Yes, that's true. There are plenty of deaf actors, but not as many deaf crew members, and we need both. Hopefully, maybe those who are interested will watch this video and then become involved. Who knows? Yes, hopefully they will. I also collaborate with the hearing community, creating partnerships. I think that's a better approach in my opinion because they already have the skills and I have the skills, and it's great when it's combined. There's a cross-cultural exchange. We learn from each other and become more mainstream. Yes, it's great to have an all-deaf team, but it's also good to partner up with hearing people. There's a wide world out there. Absolutely. Hearing people have an abundance of resources and access to money, while the deaf community is still experiencing scarcity when it comes to resources, people, money, etc. If you want to produce a movie and you have all these needs met, then you're really fortunate. But it's a rare thing, right? The world is mostly consisted of hearing people, and there's a small pool of deaf people. With hearing people's support, we can elevate the deaf community, but it's a process. I agree. Hopefully in the future there will be more deaf people involved with the industry. That's right. And then we would need less support from hearing people because we'd be getting it from deaf folks. I hope so. Is there anything you want to share with the hearing world? For hearing people who don't know what deaf people are like or having the doubt that deaf people are skilled, I encourage partnerships so there's a better idea of deaf people's abilities. There are resources and so much to offer. Working together will give a better understanding of deaf people. And hopefully that happens more in the future. Absolutely. Hearing people need to see it for themselves, rather than being ignorant and assuming that deaf people don't have talent. That's not true. There are talented deaf people out there. Go ahead and work with deaf people. Do you have any thoughts you want to share with the deaf community? I hope that in the future the deaf community can come together. I understand there are not many artists, and there's a scarcity. I think we have to try our best to unite. It's the best for the future. We need to grow our community. For example, if I need help, we're able to exchange resources with each other. But nowadays, sadly due to COVID, people are divided. Hopefully in the future that will change when COVID lessens. I'd like to see us get together, meet up for coffee, or something comfortable. It's important for that artist exchange. There are more talented deaf people out there and I may not know about them. We could learn more and put them on a list of people to work with, even actors or a crew position, whatever their preference is. So in the future, we need to get together. It's important to be optimistic. Yes, hopefully in the future that will be possible, especially when COVID ends and it's safe to gather in person again and have that exchange. Really, different artists have their own knowledge and skills to contribute, which become a superpower. Right? Yes, hopefully that could happen in the future. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for participating in the Deaf What project. Cheers. Thank you. I'll see you again. Hopefully the pool of deaf artists and crew will grow. Thumbs up to you. Yes, I'll definitely see you again. Bye. Take care.